Hey guys, it is Wednesday today. I haven't filmed in the last, at least for the vlog, the last 3 days. There's been some things that have been going down. Unfortunately, Zach's grandmother passed recently. She's been going to the hospital on and off quite a bit this last year, and with a number of different issues. She was a very strong Italian woman, so she passed, unfortunately, on Monday. Other than that, grievance. Zach's had off the last 3 days because they've completely and utterly butchered his schedule. He's full-time at Walmart, and he's supposed to be getting 34 to 36 hours per week. I think it's a week. It's a week. And, they gave him 24. The problem with that is, I'm waiting for these cars to move, but this light doesn't want to turn green, so give me 1 second. Anyway, now that we're moving, this light is a little iffy sometimes. When I say iffy, like, sometimes it, lasts a long time, and sometimes it lasts only 3 seconds, and it's just like, come on. And sorry for the noise in the background. This car needs to be cleaned. I've been trying to get Zach to clean this car for 2 weeks. It's usually his mess that is left in here, and he has not been doing his duty. As I was saying, he only got 24 hours this week, so that means he was off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday's his normal day off. He has to have Tuesday off every single week because my psychiatrist's appointment's usually on Tuesdays, or always on Tuesdays. Then he works today, which is Wednesday, then he works Thursday, then he's off Friday. Now, he's allowed to go to Human Resources and report this, but he's not going to because he just went through a grievance. He doesn't even give a crap right now, which he should, because we still need the money to survive. But I understand at the same time he doesn't want to put up a fight right now. Which they say the reason why the hours are cut as badly as they are is because their new system at Walmart's really messed up and no one can get inside and fix the schedules. I don't give a crap. Then you call them in and give them the hours. That's what you're supposed to do. He only got 24 hours this week. He said he's going to put PTO time in to replace it because we hardly survive off his 40 hours per week. When they cut hours like that, it makes it difficult. But he's supposed to be starting his new position this Saturday. So by the time this video is up, it'll be last Saturday. He's supposed to always get 40 hours no matter what for this position. But for some reason, next week's also extremely cut. I think he only works 3 days out next week. I don't know what's going on. He said that don't worry, that they gave him other positions in Garden Center, though he's supposed to be practicing for his new position now. So things are going strange at his job right now. Hopefully nothing goes wrong, and hopefully he can get the hours that he needs, because we are desperate right now, as I had mentioned in the last week's video, or shit's going down. Well, by the way, on that mention of shit's going down, I took Tessa to the vet. Tessa's my half-wolf dog. She had a UTI originally, at least that's what they said. They originally wanted us to do a senior screen test or something like that. It's something senior test where they take the blood and they take, I think, the urine also, and they take it into a lab and they get it checked to make sure there's nothing else that's wrong, like diabetes or thyroid problems. We couldn't afford it that time, which was about a month and a half ago. So we just had them do, check her urine to make sure it's just a UTI, and they said it was a UTI. So we gave her that antibiotics for that lasted for 2 weeks. Now, as I had mentioned in the last vlog, she was doing okay. We just assumed that she was howling a lot to go outside because she knew that when she howled, she was going to go outside. And she is a half-wolf, so she tends to mark her territory. So she pees a lot anyways. She goes around the yard marking her territory. We take her for a walk. She wants to stop every 5 seconds to mark her territory. She's done this when she was younger. She's done this now when she has a UTI. So we didn't think anything of it up until she started peeing in the house again. And she only peed in the house once since this has happened. So she might not have a UTI. She might be healed. But my mother had said that she's been drinking a lot of excess water again. So I'm like, okay, I'll take her in again. Maybe they'll do another urine test just to make sure that the UTI is gone, or if it's still there, maybe just needs a little bit of extra oomph about antibiotics. Because sometimes you do. I mean, I've had UTIs in the past, and they would give me medications, and it didn't work, so I needed to go on another dosage of medication, and that worked. So I didn't think of anything about it. So I go to the vet, and they say to me that they need to do a urination something test. And it's to, they take it to the lab, they take the urine to the lab, it gets tested for all these other things, just like the senior test. But they would want to do that test, so the urine test, I'm going to call it just the urine test because I don't remember the exact name they called it. And if they do, you should do the senior test so you can just get everything hit, marked, and figure it out. And if we do that, then we don't have to worry about just giving her another antibiotic and spending money on that, another antibiotic, and I get that, if it doesn't work. However, that urine test they told us about would have cost us $400. I'm not exaggerating about that. It's over $400. They showed us the papers, how much it would cost with the urine test, with the senior something test, and it's sent to the lab. The urine test was I want to say 20 something. I only had $300 in my account at the time. I'm like, I can't do that. And he said, okay, well, we got this other one where you can do the senior test alone, and it's going to cost about $230. I said, okay, I'll be willing to do that, because if I don't get groceries for a week, that's okay, as long as my dog is taken care of. I said okay to that. So the assistant, by the way, who's the one who said this, the vet tech, he left, talked to the vet doctor, and he comes back, he's like, there's not even a point of you doing the senior test unless you do the urine test. I said, I literally cannot afford to do the urine test. It's $400. I only have $300 in my account. And he's like, the way he said it almost sounded like I was being scolded for not doing it. And I get it. I need to take better care of my dog, but I did not expect it to be $400. That's a lot of money. Like, wha-bam money. Like, hi, you need $400 all of a sudden. Hi, I only get about $800 per paycheck. I mean, that's half of our thing. We need to still pay for rent, food, my medication, my psychiatrist. Like, dude, that is a lot of money. You expect me just to fork out. I can't work because of my disorders, but I don't have disability yet either, and I am trying to get disability. Now, I'm not trying to yell at you guys. This is just me showing my emotion. I'm very frustrated by this. But the way he came at me, Zach would say different, but the way I felt like he came was like, well, you need to do this. I mean, it's something you have to do. I'm like, I can't do it right now. I don't have $400 in my account. I could show it to you. I was looking at my phone, at my bank account when he was talking. I was like, I only had legitimately $313 and probably 62 cents in my account. I'm like, I can't do $400 right now. And I don't have much on my credit card either. It wouldn't have been enough. Our credit card's nearly maxed. It's like maybe $50 off from max, and I have to use that for gas to get Zach to work. Otherwise, we can't get money, period. So I said, I can't do that. I was like, okay, well, we're just going to put her on different antibiotics. But you need to, if this doesn't happen, if we call you back in a week and nothing's changed, you really need to consider finding a way to get that money. I'm like, and that's exactly the way he said it. I was like, whoa. Now, let me tell you, I've been going to this vet since I've moved here to Georgia. I love this vet. They've been nothing but quick, patient, and kind to me. I've never met a vet that's been so nice to me ever. I've first experience with them, my wild rabbit, who passed away that year we came down. Her name was Artemis, and she had an affected tooth which caused swelling around her eye. They got her in right away. I called them and said, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. Just come in right away, we'll get you in right away. Out of everyone that I called, they wouldn't do that. That was the only vet that would. And so I went in, and it only costed me like $30 to get her in and everything, and it was just a blessing. And they gave us eye cream just in case it wasn't a tooth infection, because the exam would have cost us like $190, and at that time Zach was just getting back to work, so we really didn't have a paycheck up until then. He had it was going back and forth, like his payment was going back and forth because he was a new store and everything, so I had to arrange it. Anyhow, so they got her in, they gave us eye stuff just in case it was just an eye, like maybe she got something in her eye and it was an eye infection. So they've been nothing, obviously it was a tooth infection. There was nothing we could do. The surgery was going to cost $900, and the chance of her surviving, since she was a wild rabbit, was unlikely that she would survive the surgery. So they said the just best option would be put her down because it's a tooth infection. It's probably causing her pain. She's probably not eating properly, and she can't see out of that eye anymore. So unfortunately, I had to put down my baby girl, which really, really broke my heart. Anyway, ever since then, they've been nothing but sweet and caring and getting us in right away. I don't even have to call for appointments half the time, and they would get you in within 5 minutes anyway. So it's just, and the payment that usually they come up with, it's usually easy for me to pay. Like, it's usually from like $30 to $90 that I would have to pay. The most highest I've had to pay was like, so far was like $170 when we bought Inuyasha, he had ringworm. We didn't know that. So the next day I took him in, I was like, why does he have these scabs? Oh, it's ringworm. Oh, so they've been nothing but kind to us. It's just the way he came out like that. And we've seen him personally a lot for our pets. So it was just weird that he came out like, I was like, damn, sir, I really wish I could pay $400 and some for this right now, but I can't. However, our taxes should be returning this coming Monday, so when this is up, probably last Monday. It should be. I'm not saying it's going to, because it's supposed to take 2 weeks for your taxes to go through. And it's Zach's taxes. And he should have enough where we should be able to pay for the vet and then pay for the other things that we've been trying to pay for. Because we wanted to use these tax returns to really get ourselves out of debt. And that's why we're not even visiting down to Florida. We wanted to save up to get ourselves out of debt. Just in case one of us has to go to the dentist recently, which we kind of need to, but I'm kind of putting it off to the side because other things keep going on. And now we're going to have to pay $400 to almost $500 depending which test we do. Because to do the urine and the senior one, which he wants us to do, will cost us about $440 to $460. I can't remember which one exactly. But the urine one by itself is like $420. I don't know why. When he said just the senior test, it was going to cost about $200 something. So I don't know how it develops like that. But the highest it was going to cost was about $400. I want to say $460. But dude, now we're going to have to use our tax money on that. Which, after the call, I'm not going to touch that tax money until after this vet. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to even look at it. I'm going to just pretend I have no money in my account and only get groceries when I absolutely need it, like to feed my pets. If I go hungry, I go freaking hungry, because that's what I'm going to have to do to take care of my pets. Because my pets are more important to me than my own self. So, that's what's going on. It's what I'm stressing about right now. I'm sorry for the sun. I'm Parks. Unfortunately, towards the sun. And, I don't know. So we're trying to get to the vet and get her taken care of. And we're going through some stuff personally. Like, Zach was going through his grievance. There's nothing I can do about it. I was going to use some of the tax return to get new contacts because mine are going bad. And I prefer to wear contacts over my glasses because my glasses, they're really tight against my head. So they leave indentations and give me migraines. So I always preferred wearing contacts. Plus, when I'm filming, when I wear contacts, I don't have to worry about the light gleaming and going in the glasses. So, I just prefer contacts. And contacts do cost a little bit of money, unfortunately. And in order for me to get the contacts, I have to go through that eye exam again, which that costs like almost $200 by itself. Why? I don't know. So we're just going through a little bit more this week than we were planning to. And when that vet doctor told me that amount of money, I was so in shock by the amount of money and the suddenness of it and what's going on. I just literally sat there staring at the wall, and all of a sudden, I didn't feel like I needed to cry, but all of a sudden tears started like falling down my eyes. And I was like, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I have no idea." I think it just hit me so hard that my body was like, "I can't take this right now." And normally, recently, I haven't been that stressed, except for the last 2 weeks. It's kind of like, just stop. Just everything stop. Anyway, I'm pretty sure there was more I was going to tell you guys, but I'll tell you guys probably in the next video, if I have one in the next few days, probably tomorrow. Anyhow, yes, it's Thursday, Valentine's Day. Nothing planned, because, yeah, Zach usually works on Thursdays, or Valentine's Day. He usually works on... Oh, that mess. Zach has to clean that out. I told him to do it yesterday, but he didn't do it yesterday. Usually he always works on holidays. He even works on our anniversaries, and he always works on our birthdays, both of our birthdays. So, we really don't plan anything for holidays or birthdays or anything like that. Let's see. I've been really busy lately. Not really working on stuff I'm supposed to be working on. I have this little wolf journal. Because, one, I love wolves, and I like to collect journals for some bizarre reason. Just like the way journals are. I don't know. I just collect them. I don't really write in them. I just collect them. I used to have a lot of journals, and then I got rid of a lot because I had to move, and we had a situation at the old house at one point that I had to get rid of a lot of my shit because of the situation. Basically, the situation is Zach's niece and nephew-in-law. I want to say that. They went to a friend's house that had bed bugs, and they brought it over to Zach's parents' house because they were living there, and they got bed bugs, and then Zach, who would go to his parents' house for work, would come over to my house, and then I got bed bugs, so it's bed bugs that spread everywhere. We were able to completely and utterly get rid of the bed bug problem. Like, we hit that hard. The moment we saw it, we got rid of the problem. We used this powder. I don't know what the powder's name was. We used this powder, and we just, like, put it around the room, and we used the bombs, and we bombed it, like, every other day. Like, that's how... You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to bomb it, I think, every week or something like that. It was like, okay, well, we're going to really hit it. And then we washed all of our clothes multiple times a week. All of our clothes, which back then I had a lot. And I took all of my stuff that they could hide in, like our game consoles, our books, and I shoved it in my car. Back then I had a truck. I shoved it in the back of my truck. And we lived in Florida, so it was like hot, 98-degree weather. In our car, it would be like 100 and something. And we just let it sit in the car and bake for like months. Like, I mean months. We let it bake for months. And unfortunately, back then, I didn't realize my car had a leaking problem with the rain. So whenever it rained, it would leak in the back of the truck, and I lost a lot of my stuff because of that. It was in 2016, and in 2016, a lot of just bad shit happened to us. Well, actually, it happened in 2015. It happened in 2015, but it carried into 2016 because we realized it happened to us in October after we came back from a cruise that my friend paid for. That's where Zach asked me to marry him, was on a cruise ship. It just carried on into the next couple months, which went into 2016. And 2016 was just our shit year. Shit just kept happening. We literally had no break that year. It was so awful for us. That guy's car door is open. Hello, you might want to fix that. This guy, my friend, was like, I'm going to stay behind here just in case. I get you. Don't worry. Anyway, 2016 was our shit year. So much bad things happened, and it kind of carried into 2017. So I think I should just I think I did do a video in 2017 when I first moved here. I think I talked about where I have been, and I think I explained some of it. I don't think I explained all of it. Like, we had a bed bug problem that carried into 2016. Zach was going back and forth in his job. He had a high position in his job at Walmart, and they kept on trying to get him fired. They just wanted him fired for some reason. That store was really bad. They fired my father for no reason at all. He was a co-manager. They literally had no reason why they fired him. He fought it and everything like that. Anyway, he got fired. They were trying to get Zach fired. So Zach was going back and forth in his job. Went to higher position, went to lower position. They were still trying to fire him. Our truck in 2016... we found out it had a crack in its engine block or something like that, and it was going bad. Like, we had to put water in it like once every few days to make it continue going because it was like getting hot and everything like that, something along those lines. Then I had to buy a new car, and that's the car I have now. And we bought it, and they advertised it as like new. Apparently there was nothing wrong with it. When my dad and I went to go pick it up, because my dad was the one who found it for me, because he knows a lot about cars, they said they put all new tires on. They didn't. Like, the moment I got in the car, there was a symbol. And I'm not used to, my old truck didn't have those symbols that popped up very much unless it was the engine problem. It was a symbol. It had like these side marks, curve marks, and it had the exclamation mark. I had no idea what the hell that meant. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Because if you guys know me, if you've been watching me for a while, anything that occurs with my car, I think it's gonna explode. I was like, what the hell does that mean? My dad's like, I have no idea. I've never seen that before. And so we're going through the manual on the Pontiac, manual, which was in the car, luckily. And it mentioned that it was low car pressure. And we're like, okay, well, maybe it's because they just put new car tires on and it just needs to register it. So go home. Like a week later, it wouldn't go away. I took it to Walmart because that's where I get my tires. Probably a bad situation to do that, period. But I took it to Walmart to get new tires. Every single tire except for one had nails in it. Every single tire. And I was only driving it for a week. And I wasn't driving into like places that had nails. And I know nails pop up here and there. It doesn't really matter where you're at. I get that. But every single tire except for one. And I think 2 of them out of the 3 had 2 nails in them. And I was just like, what the hell happened to this car? So I bought all new tires. I bought 2 first. I think that was all I could afford at that time. No, I was able to buy all. Yeah, I was able to buy all 3 because I had a lot of saved up money back then because my parents weren't asking for rent because my dad was working. And the job that Zach did at the time wasn't making enough really to give rent. So they didn't really ask for it up until my dad lost his job. Which was fine for us because we were saving up for a car anyways. We really had to save up for the car. I paid for most of my car. My parents helped me a little bit with it. And then I paid them back for it. And then I paid for everything that happened to the car afterwards. Which was 3 tires. And then like a week after that, the other tire started going bad for some reason. I think that one just got a nail on it. That was probably my fault by that time. 3 new tires. And then a month after that, no shit, the battery goes dead. And sometime in October, I don't know how much longer it was. It probably was 2 to 3 months later. My parents were just going up to Georgia because they visit my sister once a month. Plus, my dad was in preparation of looking for a new building to do auction houses. And we tried doing auction houses down in Florida, but the 2 places that we were trying to get the auction houses, something went wrong. We couldn't get the places. And that also happened in 2016. My parents lost a lot of money from their savings, everything because of that, and retirement, blah, blah, blah. The day that they left, I was taking Zach to work, and at that time in Florida, he worked about 35 to 40 minutes away, depending on the traffic. So it was a good distance away. That's why it was nice to get a small car because gas was a lot cheaper then. I pull in, and he worked in garden center, so it's like all the way at the end. And we pull in, we turned into the parking lot, and all of a sudden the car, you hear a pop, and then smoke come out of the fucking front of the car. I was like, oh, what now? I was freaking out because explosion! No, it's happening! And it's actually just calm down. It's white smoke. It's probably just water hitting something. So he gets out of the car and he checks it, and I don't know if he figured it out right then, but I called my dad because I'm panicking. Because my car just exploded. It didn't really explode, I promise you. But he's like, it sounds like the steering wheel, the steering wheel problem. Steering wheel exploding thing. I want to call it a wire, but it's not a wire. It's a pipe or something like that. And it's not a pipe either. It's, you know what I'm talking about. It's something with this power steering wheel. And so I had to get AAA to come pick me up. Zach had to call off because I didn't know how to explain this to anyone or anything like that. So Zach he went into his store, told him, hey, I can't come in. And he had to leave with me because there was no one who could pick him up from work. My car was going to be stuck at the guy we went to, who was a sweetheart. He was a blessing for us during that time. We had to drop it off at his place. And it was a power steering wheel, something like that. And the reason why he was a blessing, especially during that year when all this was happening to my car, he would allow me to pay in small amounts, like, because he knew I couldn't afford it. So he would do the work, and he knew I would come and pay him off, and that's what I did. Which was a super blessing for me back then. He was great. I really wish he was up here instead. But anyway, so that happened. And, nothing really happened to the car after that. We ended up going to Georgia up in November to help with the first auction that my parents decided to do in Georgia. And that was when we learned that we were going to lose the house because my dad wasn't making any money. He wasn't getting a job. He wanted to do auction business. He didn't want to work on anyone anymore. We started losing our house that I grew up in. Zach had to make the decision whether or not he was going to stay with me, to move up there with me, because I had to move with my parents. I couldn't stay at his parents' house because there was no room for both of us, or for my dog, who they had small dogs, and their small dogs try to fight big dogs. My dog's a half-wolf, and my half-wolf does not like small dogs. Every time she's near a small dog, she tries to eat them. I don't know why. She doesn't do it with cats. She just tries to do it with small dogs. So I couldn't have her there, and I wasn't going to get rid of her. And, so he decided to move up here with me. And, there was a lot of shit that went down that year. And then the following year, we moved here. My grandpa passed away shortly after I moved up here. My car power steering line, that's what it's called, broke twice when I was up here. We took it to this one guy. He made us pay like $160 for it, which I was like, fine, whatever. Fixed it. It broke that following day. Again. And we learned it was because something was wrong with it. They did something wrong with it. And instead of admitting they did something wrong with it, we took it back to them. They said, oh, well, now we're going to have to take all this apart, and you're going to have to pay an extra $350. I was like, oh, hell no. No, you broke something in my car, and then you're going to make me pay double the amount of money, almost triple the amount of money. My dad had a big fight with them, and they fixed our car for $150 again. Don't even know why I had to pay that much, but you know. So shit just kept happening from 2016 to 2017. And also in 2016, my grandma, who grew up in a wheelchair because she had problems with her legs, kept falling whenever she had to get up to go to the bathroom. So I had to do a lot of that stuff during 2016, which always seemed to happen when my dad wasn't around because he was up in Georgia. And she's a heavy, heavy woman, so I had to have, like, 2 guys come with me. Zach or my uncle, or both, come with me and help me lift her. It was always, like, 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was a lot of shit happened to us in 2016 and 2017. And 2018 happened, and it just was like, oh, this is casual compared to the last 2 years we had. Now 2019, I have a lot more positivity. Like, I have a good feeling about this year. But, like, after that scarring last 3 years, you're just like, what's going to happen next? So that was my story of 2016. I'm sorry, I kind of went on to talk about that. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. That's like a whole 15 minutes of just bitching about 2016. We were just talking about my car, and it says right here, oil change soon. Seriously? Why? She could probably go a little bit without it. I'm probably going to get the battery checked while I'm there, too, just to make sure. Doing all this through my taxes, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to pay for any of it. So, yeah. Sorry I went on to talk about that. I don't even remember what I was talking about before that. But either way, I'm at Zach's work. I have to go pick him up. Thank you for listening to me, and I guess you learned a little bit about my 2016 experience and a little bit of my 2017 experience, so... How was your guys' 2016, 2017? Did you guys have a rough year? I heard a lot of people had a rough year during 2016. A lot of my friends had a rough year during 2016, and they said sometimes it was really bad in 2017. So how about you guys? Was it really bad for everyone? Or did some of you guys have some good times in 2016? Don't know what we're talking about now. It's like 3 years later, but you know, just tell me.